Oh, I started back on another project doing my door frames. I decided I wasn't going to go with the angle iron sheet metal pieces like I was working on here. And Calicoing them all together. So I'm going to do a combination of both. I'm going to do the 1-inch square tubing, steel, just because aluminum, a lot of shenanigans to go around welding that and stuff. So I got that dry fit up. And here's the driver's side fit up of the frame. I'm also trying to figure out if I'm going to do like a sliding window or if I'm going to do a window that goes up and down. Oh, yow. That's way more serious than I was anticipating. Okay, I lost some video file there that was corrupted about my build of my doors. So I'll give you a rundown of what you missed out on the build. So I made all the doors out of steel tubing, angle iron, a tiny bit of plate, and sheet metal and LEXAN. So on the Polaris Rangers on the roll bar, you got those two accessory brackets. So what I did, that was a double nut on a plate that was from the factory, so I did a piece of inch all the way through with two nuts welded on each end. So you can just slide it down in between the brackets even. Then I did this piece of heavy angle iron that's dimpled to lighten it up some and give it more rigidity, and that's what I bolted my hinges to. And they're just steel tumblers for hinges. They're all greasable. So then I did that piece of plate welded to the tubing on the inside. Then you can see my tri-slide windows that I made. They're lockable from the inside. They slide fairly good, but they don't open as wide as I was hoping. So I am going to do a pair of just the normal bi-slide, like a factory type window. And I'm going to try tinting them, even though they're LEXAN. Some people say you can't tint LEXAN, but I'm going to give it a try. And then the bottom panel's LEXAN. And that's all riveted too, and it's got butyl taping behind it for waterproofness. That's stuck right to the sheet metal and the tubing. And I just bought a set of trailer hinges and a set of mirrors there that are pretty close to factory mirrors. There's the inside. So I got like a sheet metal dimple plate down the bottom that the LEXAN's over. I got it all gussets and weather stripped all the way around. I got some that's like 1 by 1 inch that fits in this inner channel that's in the roll tube. My latch is just a piece of plate bent over 90, but I got a dimple die within a dimple die, so I could rotate it up and down and slide. And it's just one bolt to attach it. Then the other 2 points go into the factory bolt holes for the netting. And as you can see, the tubing's all fits inside this channel. On the roll cage. So I overlapped it with sheet metal, then around the upper part, so it covers the roof and the door and keeps the weather out pretty good. And there's the latch. It's just a door latch off an RV. It's lockable. It works good. I use some of this, what's it called? It's like a neoprene, stick-on neoprene, 1/8 inch. I did 2 layers there, give me a little insulation over the sheet metal and hide some of the ends of the rivets. So you can see I used contrast and red rivets to match everything else. And I use some weather stripping to protect the edges a little bit more on the outside of the windows. And I got this, the windows all encased in this trim edging. And I got that fabric felts in between to keep the weather from blowing in. So it works good. Then the channel I just made out of 3/4 inch aluminum channel, C channel. And the same thing, I used all that edge trim there to take up some of the space and prevent drafts. The only thing I gotta really do to them besides redo the upper windows to the bi-slide is I gotta make a strap so it doesn't swing all the way open. Then in the cab roof, I kind of stuffed everything with pipe insulation that I to keep drafts down. And in the roof, I used that same neoprene 1/8 inch, 2 layers of it. Neoprene, one-sided stick-on stuff to keep condensation off the roof and keep some of the heat in. And I got a future plan to make a cold water cooler air conditioning unit. so I can keep the doors on in the summer without cooking myself. And like I say, they work good, they close good. Can't complain. And doesn't let any weather in. We drove into snowstorms, rainstorms all over. So you can see how the big trim goes all the way up, roll cage and around. So it keeps the weather out pretty good. And the only thing I did, I tried to inset these door handles with a metal hanger, so I had to bend the sheet metal and I had to heat the LEXAN up to bend around that little bump in the tube in the side. So that made it a little more complicated to heat it up and give that a little dimple to bend around that tubing, but I think it looks all right. And the other thing I would have done, I bent the door frame so I could keep these bolsters in. And I would have just took those bolsters out because I don't think the North Stars and stuff have these bolsters in. I mean, it's good protection, I guess, but you don't need them. So you gotta have just a little tiny dimple on it to go around it. But other than that, that's the rundown of the full doors. All the 1.5 holes, I'm going to put them in these dies. That's going to dimple them and give that 1/8 inch plate some extra strength. This die's concave and this one's convex, so they fit amongst each other. Squeeze the plate in between. And the rest of the hole. There you go, it straightens back up once it's perfectly dimpled.